Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. Been very much a thrill ride for enthusiasts of Kevin Hart of late, hasn't it, since tales appear to be twirling around him constant, making it intense to get a break. And presently it appears as though there's one more stunner going to drop, and this opportunity it's evidently coming directly from the incredible Eddie Murphy himself. It's not only some irregular tattlemonger mixing the pot, and it has individuals talking addressing, and perhaps somewhat stressed now before you get over this as simply one more unmerited gossip. How about we consider the realities? Sure, Kevin and Eddie have had their portion of kinship in any event, teaming up on projects together, yet we know that with regards to getting down on somebody for their assumed jokes, Eddie Murphy gets straight to the point he's known for, expressing his genuine thoughts, paying little mind to history or companionships. So how precisely has Kevin purportedly unsettled Eddie's otherwise calm disposition to the place where he's prepared to freshen up Kevin's clothing? How about we make a plunge? Currently, Kevin's no longer unusual with all the delicious tattle and prattle. I mean, individuals have been tossing conceal at him left and right, addressing how he moved up in popularity, murmuring regarding him cozying up to the big cheeses just to excel, and, in any event, proposing he's not precisely faithful in that frame of mind, in spite of Kevin investing the energy to level up his picture over the long haul and denying this multitude of succulent goodies the talk plant keeps on beating. We should start things off with the entire claimed duping adventure. There was this meeting with Tasha K, where Kevin's previous collaborator chose to spill some serious tea. We're talking tricking charges, betting propensities, and a ton of other shows. The colleague purportedly spilled that Kevin has been betraying his ongoing spouse, Hart, and he's supposedly engaged with an airline steward named Scratch Moore. The associate even guaranteed that Anako was evidently pregnant with their second youngster, while Kevin was leaving all around the counter at the Heartbeat, and obviously he's doing the entire shower along the Edge Pieces place and afterward head home routine. Tasha K didn't ease up and straight up got some information about a potential betting issue. It turns out Kevin's down as poker, and purportedly he went on a betting binge that was so serious they needed to slice half checks to the group. I told Kevin that Kevin is with a young lady named Blen Norgan. She's his flight participant. She's on his PLS. Does Kevin have a betting issue or something? His game is poker. So just after that stunning meeting, Kevin was not having any of it, so he went full-on claim mode. He documented a claim against Tasha K, guaranteeing she attempted to just barely get him cash by taking steps to spill the tea from the meeting with his ex-collaborator Misha Shakes, and the claim even got down on the right hand for probably throwing out certain misrepresentations. The thing is, Tasha K evidently told Kevin, "Hello, pay me $20,000 and I won't drop this harming interview bomb about you." And that harming interview is the one we just saw. Presently, Kevin's lawful crew found out about this and said Tasha was essentially attempting to strongarm him into settling up, and when the cash didn't come through, she was good to go to release the whole meeting. Kevin's legal counselor is declaring war, saying Tasha has previously plunged her toes into criminal direct and agonizing demonstrations. They're cautioning her that, on the off chance that she doesn't stop, not exclusively will the harm Kevin look for an increment, yet she could likewise be taking a gander at some serious all-criminal punishments. Yet Tasha K isn't precisely an alien to claims, and Kevin prosecuting her isn't preventing her. She's still determined to uncover Kevin's privileged insights. The tales don't stop there. We've likewise heard how Kevin had been faithless to his ex, Hart, with his ongoing spouse, Hart, and Kevin Hart tapped out back in 2011 following 8 years of marriage. Was the person who dropped the separation bomb, discovering Kevin in the act in the demonstration of cheating with different ladies, and it wasn't simply a one-time slip. Rumors from far and wide suggest that Kevin's ongoing spouse could have been one of those escorts when he was as yet hitched to T, in a close-to-home description of to letting the cat out of the bag about her fantasies about being a power couple with Kevin broke by the cruel truth of separation. She conceded feeling irate in light of the fact that she doesn't put stock in separate, as well as on the grounds that she needed to see Kevin wherever, from bulletins to Hollywood. On occasions that me and Kevin planned to have that, we should be the power couple. I resented that enough, and then I felt like a disappointment that I needed to see him every day. Now, here's the genuine kicker. T wasn't simply a spouse. She was likewise investing effort in the background, composing jokes for Kevin's films and stand-up shows. The screwed up part was that Kevin never gave her credit for her comedic virtuoso, And to compound an already painful situation, he supposedly spent the cash he produced using those jokes on his escorts. Even after Kevin undermined T, he had the boldness to tell wisecracks about it during his stand-up shows. Imagine being the individual who remained by him when he didn't have anything added to his prosperity, and afterward getting played in front of an audience will demolish your life lying. We ruined my marriage. Darling Lion ruined my marriage, yet it appears may be deteriorating for Kevin in light of the fact the conservative is raising a ruckus around town on a visit with Feline Williams. I mean, Kevin and Feline essentially can't stand each other, so the reality that conservative Hart Kevin's ex is hitching her cart to Feline Williams for a visit, which has gotten individuals causing a stir and considering what's the arrangement. Tori let the cat out of the bag on Instagram, sharing a pic of her and her old buddy Feline Williams, and she's joining any visit as well as Feline's continuous dull matter visit currently. Here's where it gets fiery. The post likewise incorporated a piece from that viral Club Shay interview, where Felice bet everything was going after Kevin and a lot of others. Then, in a new meeting, when Kevin was getting some information about T stirring things up around town with Felice, he attempted to relax and convey a developed reaction. Yet you could basically see the disturbance transmitting off him. You realize your ex is going on a visit with Felice. The visit is incredible now, in the event that you now have nothing to do with Speed overall, Kevin Hart and Feline Williams Hamburger. It's been a crazy thrill ride of terrible remarks and public disagreements. You could say that the meat follows back to the 2008 film. Blockhead's Gold Williams was at first set to start to lead the pack, yet his lawful issues at the time constrained him to a lapse on the gig, which included recording Down Under in Australia with Kevin Hart, who dipped in and caught the role rather as per the grapevine. That is where the sparks of strain among Williams and Hart previously lit, and Kevin was one of those feline, hauled to rottenness on the Club Shay digital recording Feline, straight up called Kevin an Industry Plant. He brought up how rapidly Kevin arose to notoriety, scoring a sitcom and featuring it. Soul Plane all inside his most memorable year in law, as per Feline. This causes a stir and causes Kevin's initial history to appear to be a piece like a secret. He previously had his arrangements when he arrived. Have we known about a comic that came to LA, and in his most memorable year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network TV and his own film called Soul Plane that he was driving. We've never known about that before, that individual, or since that individual. He kept getting out. What do you think a plant is? Perhaps individuals don't comprehend the meaning of these words. Have we known about an entertainer that came to LA, and in his most memorable year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network TV and his own film called Soul Plane that he drove? Do you think a plant is feline? He voiced his stress over letting people who probably won't be directly honest twist their own stories with next to no checks. He discussed how wrecked it is that the liars out there got every one of the merchandise and assets, leaving most of us playing catch-up, and he isn't getting involved with the possibility that having that large number of assets implies you're naturally talking reality, as per Felice. It's a genuine concern allowing these obscure characters to go crazy with their own stories, particularly while they're perched on a pile of assets. Yet computer-aided design isn't oblivious in regards to the way that at standing up could land him in steaming hot water. He realizes people could see him as simply one more unpleasant, desirous comic, despite his good faith when inquired as to whether he dreaded any backfire. Williams answered that Satan can't make whatever incorporates endowments for his kin. That is the reason you understand what the main occupation of someone who sold their spirit in Hollywood is to behave like, as it didn't occur the entire time Kevin Hart was an industry plant. The hypothesis returns to Hollywood gossip that has been flowing for a surprisingly long time. There's this discussion that performers are somewhat extorted into wearing a dress on screen, practically like a rite of entry, before they can step up in the popularity game, and not simply Feline Williams been discussing, even though Dave Chappelle addressed it in 2006 during an appearance on Oprah. Dave spilled the tea about why he turned down an astounding $50 million arrangement from Fun Times TV. He wasn't in that frame of mind for the cash on the grounds that, as he made sense of truckloads of money frequently accompanying a few serious strings, Dave had been in the showbiz game since he was 14 and had seen and heard tales about what occurred in the background. He brought up models like Mariah K.Y. handling a $100 million arrangement just to wind up strangely marked as insane a couple of months after the fact, or Martin Lawrence becoming showbiz royalty and afterward unexpectedly waving a firearm on the road shouting about somebody attempting to access those accounts had Dave wary when. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.